Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my channel. This is my random recipes. These are the condiments. I'm currently working my way through the sauces. Today I'm going to be doing a sweet sauce. Today I'm going to try to make salted caramel sauce. Try being the keyword. I found this recipe online. It is quite a challenging project. I have made this once before and it was kind of intimidating, but I was successful, so hopefully I will be again. The reason I went searching for this recipe is I wanted to make salted caramel buttercream frosting. In order to make the frosting, first I had to find and make the salted caramel sauce. Salted caramel was very popular a few years ago. So first I'll be making the salted caramel sauce. Then I will also be making the salted buttercream frosting. And yes, I will be frosting some cupcakes. So yes, I have my work cut out for me to be making the sauce over at the stove. I'll be making the buttercream with my lovely new stand mixer. And I will be frosting the cupcakes, but no, I will not be piping the frosting. We don't need to be that fancy today. I had better get to work. I have a lot of work to do. I'm over here at the stove. We're going to do the salted caramel sauce. I'll read off the ingredients for you and then I'll start in. So first you have 2 cups of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of butter, 1 cup of heavy cream at room temperature, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 1 teaspoon of Fleur de Sel. I'm going to use sea salt. So I'll go ahead and I'll turn this down so you can see what I'm doing. This is 2 cups of sugar. I kind of have to pay attention to my instructions or I don't want to mess up. So this is a heavy saucepan and it's actually pretty large for the amount of sugar that's in there, but at one point it will bubble up pretty high, so I'm going to need the high sides. So we'll start the heat off at medium to medium high. Got the candy thermometer. And eventually this is going to go to 350 degrees. But first, the sugar is going to form clumps and puddles. I don't want to go too high at first. I don't want to rush it. I do not want to scorch. If it scorches, you're done. Got to start over. Starting to see visible clumps. Things are beginning to happen. Can you see the lumps of sugar that are kind of starting to form? Okay, it's starting to clump up more. Some of the clumps are taking on kind of a golden color. I'm going to borrow my wooden spoon for a minute. I want to make sure I get down in the corners. Definitely starting to see some melting here. We want a deep golden amber color when we're done. We're starting to get some serious melting here. And I'm going to switch back to my whisk. I like that color. It's getting nice. I think that's about where we want it. Sugar is almost completely melted. We do have some clumping up along the edge, along the side. That's a good color. We're almost there. Okay, we're there. I'm going to pull the thermometer out. And then in goes the butter. And it's going to sizzle up like crazy. I'm going to stir, 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 stir. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to remove it from the heat. We've got our butter all melted in. I'm going to turn this so you can see. Now I'm going to add in the cream. So this is 1 cup of heavy cream. And it's going to bubble up again. Stir, 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 stir. Ooh, hot. Okay, so now I'm just going to add in, this is a tablespoon of vanilla. Let's get most of that cream out of there. And this is a teaspoon of sea salt. Boy, that smells good. This has to completely cool before we can make it into our salted buttercream frosting. So I'm going to let this sit. And then whenever we're ready, when it's fully cooled, then we can make the frosting. We'll see you soon. Okay, so I'm back. I'm done making the salted caramel sauce, and this is it. But there's 1/3 of a cup that's going to be going into the frosting. So this is what the final product is. It's fully cooled. I needed to cool it down. so that we can use it in the buttercream. It wouldn't just turn into a puddle. We're going to start off with, let's see, I've got to read my instructions. All right, so we're going to go with, this is a half a cup of butter or 1 stick, and then also a half a cup of shortening. This is the butter and this is the shortening, so I'm going to put those in the mixer. See, next is 1/3 of our cup of our salted caramel. Change up your flavor to be just about anything that you want. The ratio for this recipe is 1/3 of a cup of whatever it is you use for flavoring. You can use peanut butter, you can use cocoa powder. This is very versatile. You can use a lot of different flavors for this. We're going to start this mixer up. Just start on slow. I'm going to keep it low because once you put the powdered sugar in, it's going to poof up and we don't want a big old cloud. So this is a half a teaspoon of, this is a sea salt, and this is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we'll spoon in the powdered sugar. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. I have 2 cups here today just in case I need a little extra. I'm going to stop it for just a minute. Okay. That's actually smelling pretty good. All right, so back to where we were. A little bit more powdered sugar. You want it smooth, but you don't want it super thick so that it won't spread. Okay, pretty good. Just a little bit more maybe. I think I'm going to stir that down one more time. But it looks pretty good. Okay, we'll give it a little bit more of a mix, but we're almost there. Let's give that another minute or so. Okay, I think I will add just another little scoop. Yeah. I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I'm learning my new equipment. Okay, and I'll turn this so you can see. There's a little bit of powdered sugar left that I need to mix in. There, that looks good. We can see that. Just a little bit of powdered sugar there on the bottom. But that looks good. Okay. It's kind of a creamy, buttery looking color. Let's bring in some cupcakes. I got powdered sugar all over me, don't I? All right, so here's my buttercream. Here's my plate. Now what I've got here, all right, so I have cupcakes here, a whole tray of them. I have my buttercream frosting, salted caramel, buttercream frosting to be specific. Let's get, oops, I want my, all right, that's kind of generous. I'll do a few here. Now one thing I like to do, there goes Portia. I don't know what she's barking at, but something's important. And you're going to want to refrigerate this frosting and the sauce because they do have a lot of butter and cream in them, so they are perishable. Okay, so I'll do a few. I take a little bit. This is the salt. This is the sea salt, and it's the coarse type. And I just put just a few little sprinkle of the sea salt on the cupcakes, on the frosting, so that you get that little bit of a crunch and a little bit of salt in it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to go ahead and frost these, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm done frosting the cupcakes. I have a messy workspace today. I'll turn this down so you can see what I've got. This is my final product. I got 20 cupcakes. The recipe says 24, so I made them a little bigger than normal, but that's okay. All right, so on my picture's now hopefully not crooked. My apron is very dirty. So these are the cupcakes I did. So I got 20 out of it. They're all frosted. This is the frosting after I finished. I scooped it out of the big bowl and put it into this a little bit more manageable size. So I'm going to go ahead and do a taste. I'll turn this up so you get to watch my reaction to this. Of course, I went with chocolate cupcakes today because that's like my favorite. Portia and Cookie are very exuberant today. They're full of energy. So here's a cupcake. I'm going to break it in half a little bit. Make a mess with my fingers. All right, so here we go. It's obviously very rich because there's butter and there's shortening in there. And the sauce is butter and heavy cream. Well, I didn't have you watch me make the cupcakes. I just used the box. I used a mix. Nothing really newsworthy there. I do have some leftover frosting I'm going to have to find a use for. And I have a rather generous amount of salted caramel sauce yet to use. I'm sure I'll find use for it. Like ice cream's calling my name. Salted caramel everything was the trend a few years ago. In fact, that was back in 2015. The reason I know when that was is because my family was planning a celebration of my grandmother's 100th birthday. Well, I wanted something special for the cake. So, and since salted caramel everything was the current trend, I wanted to go with salted caramel buttercream frosting. But in order to make the buttercream frosting, I had to make the salted caramel sauce first. It did turn out really well. Motivation will do that for you. Well, Grandma made it to 105. I do miss her. Next time I will be doing another 2-for-1. I will be switching back to the savory sauces, sort of. Well, more on that next time. I will include the ingredients and the preparation for the buttercream frosting and the salted caramel sauce in the description below. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions for my stand mixer's name, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments. I would really love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate that. It helps my channel to continue to grow. Thank you for joining me on my journey through the condiments and the sauces, and I will see you again next time. Bye.